this day, please allow me to shout. Allow me to shout and shout and shout. I'm having something to drink so that I can shout. This thing that is happening in Manley, I don't like it. I don't love it. I will hate it until it's not right. It's not normal. It's not the way you treat people or you handle your employees. This girl, yeah, she is bold enough, she's got a liver of going on TikTok and be like, you know what? I'm going to fight for these people. They don't want to fight for themselves. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to fight through the internet. And I know on TikTok, people are going to see the video. They will do something for these guys. The story is, the lady goes to, applies for a job, obviously, restaurant in Manlane here. Then she applies, and then of course they call her for interview. She goes to interview. You know how interviews goes, and you will expect that during the interview, they will tell her everything about what is going to happen. They leave her. They say, okay, you can come to work. Then she comes to work. They tell her to buy her own uniform. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's okay, which also is bad, but let's put it aside. Then they tell her the next time, you need to buy.
I went to work the next day, and then there was just like, oh guys, there were more things piling up. As waitresses, Zitibana, we have to buy our own equipment, right? I didn't know about that. So basically, equipment is a bottle opener, a cigar cutter, e-cigarette lighter, cigar lighter. Like you buy all of these things yourself out of your own pocket. Mind you, I had just spent 1,000 rand on just the uniform, excluding alterations, excluding the transport fees, and now I have to buy the equipment myself.
These cutlery things, I don't know, it's a tin opener, whatever it is that you need to have as a waiter there. While you are moving around, maybe somebody wants to open a bottle, you go there and then you help them and all of that, okay? Okay, let's take that and put it aside. That's okay, we're coming back there, okay? But this is a bomb one.
Only to find out that there is no contract, there's nothing that is legally binding between you and the restaurant. You just go there, you work. If you get fired, you get fired, because there's no contract. So 10, how are you going to defend yourself? That was the second red flag for me, actually. And then they were like, we don't have a basic salary. As not basic salary, you make imali liquid tips. This wasn't discussed with me prior. You make imali liquid tips. There's like a mandatory tip of 10% that they bill to the customer. But even that 10% tip, the restaurant takes about, I think it's 20%, 30%. I stand to be corrected. Something about breakage and leverage, I don't know. So 10%, they still take imali etil.
They decide to say to her, listen, what you didn't know is that you are not going to get a salary. What are you talking about? You are a restaurant. I was actually listening to Penwell on TikTok. Penwell was talking about the same story. And then he said that...
I think the owner, if I'm not mistaken, is someone like Stefan or Stephanie Cohen, a French national who's got what seems like a whole lot of restaurants and clubs in South Africa. We've got a situation.
Actually, the owner of the restaurant has other businesses. That will be the restaurant, clubs, and everything. Obviously, that guy is making millions. Where does this guy come from? From France. He's a French guy. He's making millions in South Africa. He's got millions. That means he can be able to afford a uniform. He can be able to afford a salary. He can be able to afford those cutleries that they are talking about. It's not like those cutleries, they will take them and break them. They just take them and use them, right? For the company that generates money for you. Right? The restaurant decide to say, you are not going to get a salary. The question will be, where is she going to get a salary? No, ma'am, there is no salary here. It's a tip. You get tips. That means, Mus, when you go to the restaurant and then you give tips. That's what is their salary. That means if on that day or on that night, you are going to get 3 people who are tipping you 20 rands. That means on that day, you are going to have 60 rands. If the other day, you get maybe people who are not going to tip you, that means there is no money for you on that day. What is that called? That is bad. That is you are and those guys who are working here, I don't know what is their problem. I don't know what is their problem. That is why they use this thing, this narrative, this brushing of saying South Africans are lazy because they want us to be subjected in this type of situations. I'm shouting because this one, it made me angry and I'm talking about it. And it's not somebody from Africa, somebody from another country outside, out. I'm talking about it because it made me sad. It made me so angry. You know? Now, you are asking yourself, why were you guys working there while you still that these people are exploiting you? That is why these guys, when they come here and start businesses, they prefer these guys from Africa because they don't fight for anything. They are hard workers. That's what they use. Look what is it's happening here. Because I want to give you a picture. When it's South Africans, they are lazy. Why? Because they are trying to fight for their rights. They are lazy to work. But when it's the other guys who are from other places, they say they are hard workers. Why? Because they accept to be exploited. They accept everything and anything that it's given to them. Guys, we are human beings. We are people with breath. We are human. The other thing is you see, the person who owns the restaurant is a human being. I don't know why would you treat the people like that. You are making millions, my guy. You are making millions. It's a restaurant. This thing every day. I'm just hoping and I'm just guessing that you are making millions every day. Why wouldn't you just take some few money there and give it to these people as a salary every month? Why? How do you think they come there? Huh? How do you think that they come? And it's not like as if like in their laws or in their clause that they have in the restaurant, there is somewhere where it says to giving tip is a compulsory thing. There is nothing like that. People give tips because they want to give tips. If they don't want to, they can't, they don't give tips. It's not like there is a law that says every person who comes here and eat here, they will have to give tip and the tip is 100 rand. It's not like that. And they want to exploit this child here. She was like, I'm not having it. We must give credit to her and we must lift the flag high here and say, my lady, thank you for standing up for every person here. Those people who are working there, who are going to get a salary, if that guy changes his mind or he closes that thing, whatever. I was looking at the news right now, they were talking about it.
You've effectively made an arrest here, and you almost done with your sting operation. Are you happy with the results?
Well, we are. So, but let me also bring you some updates. So, in as far as the labor laws are concerned, we have made some findings. So that there are two contraventions that we've picked up, one by Babel and another one by Ocean Basket. So there's an issue of gas installations, and there's an issue of structural, sort of integrity. So we're obviously going to have to prohibit the operations, both establishments. The one downstairs, as I indicated, is a gas installation issue, and the one upstairs is a structural issue in terms of the engineering issues around that.
When you say you have to prohibit both areas, what does that mean? Unpack it for us.
It means that the operations will be restricted from going ahead. It means that we may have to close the operations up until there's compliance with those laws. So at the end of the day, it means that the operation that we came here for is successful because we did pick up the issues that we're concerned about, and they are not different to some of the big issues that we've been picking up within this particular, sector, as it were. So we're hoping some of these particular aspects will drive the message home to some of these employers to attend and take these particular laws very seriously.
And when you talk about how important it is to take this seriously, of course, we're seeing this arrest that's being effected. But when you talk about the operation and the structure issues, doesn't that mean that the people that are inside they could potentially have no employment?
Well, so even maybe more serious than that, it means that the people that are working there are exposed to a dangerous operation. So, which means that their health and safety is at risk. So, which is why we have to make sure that there is compliance so that employees are protected. So, it is important at the end of the day that whatever happens, so that there's compliance with the law. Unfortunately, the negative consequence of that is that the operation can't continue operating up until this compliance.
They said, yeah, the guy was not even complying. with the labor laws. And I'm like, what is going on in South Africa? Men lane, what is wrong? And I'm asking myself also with the men lane, what was happening here? What was the problem here? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the men lane mall doesn't check those things. Maybe it's not their responsibility. It's a South African law that should be checked by maybe officials from the government or anything. But I'm like, these guys, they were operating, they were not following the laws or labor laws. I guess it's not their responsibility. All right. But so thank you for allowing me to shout, because this thing made me angry. My lady, well done. You did very well. You did very fantastic. We are tired of this thing. They will see now, people, why people are fighting, okay, for these rights, because they are very important. If you want to be abused, you want to be manipulated, you want everybody to just step on your head as if like you are not a human being, that's fine. You can go and do it, okay? But there are people here who are not going to allow that. There is no way, guys. A restaurant, I would have understood, as I said, if it was something that was still growing, you can see that they are struggling. Yeah, it's understandable, but it's a restaurant. Main lane. Do you know how much is the rent there every month? Do you know how much is that? That means they can afford the rent. If there is something broken in that restaurant, they can fix it because they can be able to pay the rent. That means they can also be able to pay the salaries and buy those cutleries and buy the uniform. What is wrong with these people? Come on. All we need is our respect. Okay? All we need is our respect. And I've seen a lot of people here, a lot of other guys from Africa saying South Africa is xenophobic. South Africa, this is what we fight for. This is what we want. We want to see people treated well. We want to see people treated with dignity. People getting what is actually for them. You work for it. You work for this thing. You are called a hard worker. But now you are a hard worker. The next thing, they don't give you what is true to you as a hard worker. They say to you, go and buy your own uniform. Go and buy your own cutlery. Go and buy your own whatever. And then we have to accept and say, okay, it's fine, and just follow everything. No, guys, we can't be like that. We can't be like that. No, we can't be like that. That lady, big up to you. You are Uyimbogoto, mama. Uyimbogoto, my sister. Well done. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Sorry for shouting, but I was over there. I was like, what? Anyway, it's fine. Please like, share, subscribe, do whatever. Let me go and calm down, because I'm gonna say things that I don't want to say. Right? Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for the likes, for the comments, for the what. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's get to 5,000, right? We are on 3,000 something. Let's go to 5,000. Sharp.